often behind a wheelbarrow. It needs to go there.
Yeah.
Yeah, or we're together in the garden. Me too. I'm one of them. I'm just one of the gang.
Yeah.
So we hold the place together, and everything and every moment is showing us something. If we are willing to see, willing to listen, willing to be honest, anything, it is showing. It is immediately apparent. Immediately.
So the big CEO of a Dutch national corporation maybe sometimes visits you,
Right.
and he's also with dirty hands behind the wheelbarrow.
Right. And often very happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have to. Yeah. Just boots.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Splitting wood. Like that.
Yeah. You also do meetings over here in Holland every 6 weeks.
Yeah. Couple of, yeah.
Yeah. You tell me there's often new kind of people, new people come and visit you.
Yeah.
What are the most heard questions? What is a typical, let's say, beginner question? How do I know this for sure, what you're telling me? Or
Oh, it's not easy to say. What is a beginner question?
what is the most heard question? How am I so can I become happy?
How? How is a big one.
Hmm.
How? Because we are conditioned on, like people say, yeah. I get what you say. I understand. Now tell me how. Just tell me how.
Yeah.
We are so conditioned on how.
Yeah.
We are so conditioned on problem solving and strategies and techniques
Reaching.
and from one step to the other. You just tell me how.
Yeah.
There's no how. There's no how. And before we can accept that, we always want the next step. But what this is really about, how does no longer apply.
And what does apply?
To become so still, to not move, and rest, completely rest. Your psyche, your thinking patterns, your strategies, to come to full stop. All ideas of problem solving, all ideas of improving yourself. We are always on the move of improving ourselves. Here, everything stops. And usually it takes some maturing before you can wholeheartedly accept that. Okay. To be completely still and rest your entire being. To no longer move away from yourself. To no longer abandon yourself in search of yourself. The search is actually prohibiting. Is that the right word? The search is
Avoiding?
Yeah, is avoiding to find yourself. Yeah. The search itself is an avoiding strategy.
Mm-hmm. It's postponing
It's postponing.
the thing.
It is postponing the immediacy of this very
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah.
The immediacy of life now.
Yeah.
So either we dwell in the past, licking our wounds, or we worry about the future. But living this moment is quite something.
Yeah. It reminds me of a movie with Tom Hanks where he gets in a plane crash and he gets stuck on an island by himself.
Right.
Yeah.
This ball.
Yeah.
He
With
makes a friend.
friends.
He
Yeah,
makes
yeah,
a
yeah.
friend.
With a volleyball. Yeah, yeah.
Whoa, what a wonderful
Yeah,
movie. Yeah.
And sometimes with this knowledge,
Yeah.
you can see this story repeating in a lot of stories.
Exactly.
People get stuck
Exactly.
at one place and then no more hope for the future.
Yeah, exactly. Everything is taken away.
Yeah.
Everything is taken away. But he still makes the friend.
Yeah.
So he's not completely going into this
Aloneness.
aloneness.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And in your awakening journey, this is what you meet. This is what you meet. Aloneness. Sooner or later you meet it. And sooner or later you fully allow. You fully allow to be taken over.
Yeah. is that maybe a hindrance or something to watch out for? That sometimes when you, let's say, I come to France and I feel so very cozy with all the people who are interested in the same thing. We're doing nice stuff. We're eating together. That becomes another comfort zone for me. That family atmosphere. Should I go alone in the woods and sit in a cage for 1.5 years? Would that?
Anything can do it. Anything. There is not really a strategy. This is it.
Mm-hmm.
I heard once a story, long time ago, and I was in a Zen monastery. And in the Zen monastery, koans are given. So the master says to the student, "This is your koan. You just sit there. I see you in a year." And then the student sits there for a year with his koan, and all that comes, and the anger, the frustration, and I'm not going anywhere. Comes after a year to the master, thinks, I've got it. And then he's very excited and tells the master, "Master, this is it." And the koan says, and the master says, "Go back. I see you in a year." And this goes on, year after year after year, and everything is building up.
Yeah, frustration.
And after 12 years, the student is dismissed. And he is at the peak of his frustration. And he said, "Well, master, you just forget the whole thing." It's very impolite to say something like that in Japan. "You just forget the whole thing." And he goes out of the door and he slams the door. And he is so angry and so that the door slams on his leg. And his leg is cut off. And by the moment this happens, he awakens. Everything was in this culmination, He awakens. So then all his friends think, that's the trick. I just have to cut off my leg.
Yeah.
And that became the one-legged order of monks.
Yeah.
So then you think, it is like that. I just have to do like that. Or I have to sit in a cave. Or I have to do this. Or I have to do that. No.
No, there's not one.
No. Anything. Yeah. Actually, you can hone some qualities. You can hone your courage. You can hone your perseverance, the trust, like that. You can make kind of character foundation.
Mm-hmm.
And then anything can be at your side, but make everything at your side. So when you really listen to what you speak and what you do and how you like to cover up a painful situation, when you really become aware of that, every moment is a teaching. Every friction shows you what you have projected, what you are defending, what you are protecting. Every moment is a teaching. It's calling you home. So that is so beautiful.
Life shouts it you in the face all the time.
All the time, right. Are you willing to listen?
And that could be a simple thing as I'm...
watching a bird.
Yeah, I'm thinking about a frustrating thing that I'm having an appointment at 11 a.m. with you, and at 5 before 11 a.m. here at the traffic light, someone's car breaks down in front of me, and I can't pass him. I have to wait for 10-15 minutes. I have to help this man get this car out of the way, and such on. What does that bring up? Does it only bring up frustration, or maybe in my case it brings up, okay, let's help this man.
Yeah.
Get the car to
Yeah, exactly. Can be a lot of things.
Yeah.
It can even bring up, I have no time for you now, I have an appointment. It can be anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But whatever is triggered, you observe it without any judgment. And you tap the wisdom of it. You tap the wisdom out of the situation.
The one thing is not better than the other thing.
I don't
helping,
think so.
not helping.
No.
Being frustrated, being not frustrated. Maybe that's the thing.
Maybe it gives you more space, gives people more space when we don't have to evaluate and define and judge every single moment. But we're just aware. Okay. okay, okay.
So I don't have to act in a particular way. I don't have to
No,
be a good
no.
Dutch citizen by helping everybody.
Not for me. If this is your nature, go ahead.
Mhm.
But if this is your survival strategy, be aware.
Yeah.
Uh,
But how do I make that distinction
not
Uh,
with your mind. Your heart will
the
always
heart
show you.
knows.
Your heart knows.
if you're doing something out of protecting?
Yeah, yourself, or that it is natural. You know, your heart always
Yeah.
knows.
And we always know the quality of someone's action. You can feel sometimes,
Right.
mostly, if you are.
Right, right.
Are you doing this purely out of love?
Or to please me,
Please,
or
yeah.
whatever.
Gain
Yeah.
compliments?
Yeah.
So that quality, we know.
We know.
Yeah.
And you also know that when you are just yourself and natural, that you are at ease with yourself. Yeah. And sometimes you help, and maybe sometimes you don't help.
Yeah.
Sometimes this is the right thing to do. But you feel, maybe you feel hurried, and you don't help, and then later something is nagging.
Yeah. Nah,
And the nagging is showing you,
What is it showing me?
the nagging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does it show?
That something probably was out of place.
Yeah.
And then you learn from it and
Yeah.
you move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Afterwards, you think, okay, I didn't help this man, but that's purely okay.
Yeah.
Or you think, well, I was afraid that the one I was going to interview was going to say, what is that with you?
Exactly. Yeah.
So through the years, you met Alexander Smith, you told us about,
Mm-hmm.
and Shanti Mai.
And Punaji, a disciple of Ramana Maharshi in India. I stayed some winters with him also. Yeah.
And what came up for you during that winter time?
It was Punaji.
Yeah?
Yeah, again, like with Alexander home. I mean, what a lion. What a beauty. And I met him when he was in his early 80s. So it was so... For 50 years he had expressed this. For half a century it was so full and so rich and so wonderful. So I feel very grateful that I sat at his feet for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He passed away now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Has he passed on his teaching not only to you but also to other?
Many.
Yeah.
Many. After Osho passed, quite a gang from Osho people came to him. So until that time, he was giving satsang in his house and in other people's houses, but in a small, until his late 70s, it was quite a small group. And then came this whole wave of Osho people, and there was a big hall being built for him. And the last years of his life was, many people coming and going all the time in Lucknow in India. Yeah.
And how did you know that a guru not needed no longer anymore? Was that told to you?
No.
How does that work?
Yeah. Also, that is for everybody different.
How was it for you?
How was it? For me, it was not the one leg incident, the story of the one leg.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it was, I was in India and I came to the ashram of the master of my master at the Ganges. And the first time that I came there, I felt like, wow, so a profound, timeless recognition of this little place at the ashram. And I was just sitting there. And for every day, for many hours, I was finding a quiet corner to sit and completely dissolving. And then one night, my whole journey came to full stop by a timeless event that lasted for hours, that was made of light. So there was a very, very, very powerful flood of light going through me and erasing me completely, burning everything up. So it was, yeah, it's not easy to describe. And it was as well, it was very, very, very powerful. It was almost like my body could maybe not take it, as it was very, very subtle. Like I could almost forget. And so this long awakening journey came to full stop in that night. But I couldn't give words to that at that time. So I couldn't say, oh, now I'm awakened. I had no capacity to that. I had no capacity to reflect. The words were not, it was not easy for me to formulate. So the next day I went to the ashram and sat again. And was dissolved for many hours in a very deep meditation. And it was only a long time later that I was able to reflect and acknowledge that was the night where everything stopped, came to full stop. And after that is 20 years ago. And after that has been no more change.
And did you tell anyone?
No.
No, saying, well, I've seen it. Bye,
No.
guys.
No, I didn't tell anyone. I didn't tell my guru. I didn't tell anyone. I went just back and sat in silence. Yeah.
And that is also this thing that happened for you, or however you call it, that struck you, that's no blueprint for everyone. So we have to wait until the white light flashes us over.
I would suggest not even to wait. I would suggest to no longer make a horizon, make no longer a goal, but to bring everything back to here, now, and to see yourself rather as an awakening being than one being in search of awakening, because the search is pushing away the horizon. Yeah. But when you relax completely in yourself and see yourself as awakening, you can see yourself as expanding, beyond any limits, beyond any borders, beyond any ideas. That makes a big difference.
Yeah.
And this sublime moment, if it is there, can be very exciting, and it can be very subtle. It can be Jean Klein awakened watching a flock of birds. It can be anything. Yeah. I've heard somebody awakening watching Ben-Hur.
Yeah. Is it okay if I take some pet peeves from the Advaita scene and
some what?
Yeah, how do you call it? Some things people love to talk about in the Advaita scene.
Let's see.
And let's see what your reaction to that is. Am I not the body?
From my point of view, no. Maybe you see yourself as your body, and as long you believe to be a person, you will identify with your body. Yeah.
The person needs the body to...
Imagines. Yeah. Person, mind and body is like in the same box. In the same box with time and space. Yeah.
Time, space, person.
Mind, body.
Mind, body.
Yeah.
All part of that.
Same box.
And that box we could call...
illusion.
The dream.
Or the dream, as you like. Yeah, the dream. The imagination, the illusion, the misunderstanding. You can give it lots of names. Relative reality, you can also call it.
And could I say that it's not strange that I believe to be this illusion, because it's told to me?
Yeah, it's a mass
today.
belief.
Yeah.
It's in our mass consciousness, for sure, of course. Yeah. But our mass consciousness is quite a delusion. So it's not for most people, it is not obvious that we realize, wait a minute, this is not what I really am. This body is my vehicle, the gift, to experience life, like my feelings, like my thoughts. It's the gift to experience life. It's not my true identity, and this we have to see.
Because when we still identify with all those things you call the illusion box, suffering is part of the package?
Yeah, absolutely. Suffering, longing, fear, hopelessness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But can you say what you as a guru gives us instead of that box of illusions?
Yeah. So then if I'm not this box with illusions, what am I?
Yeah.
And that is, you cannot really speak this, because what you really are is prior to any words, to any name. But any name will do, because any name can point in this direction. So whatever, truth can never be spoken, but we can direct, we can point in a direction, like unconditional love, like freedom, like peace, like joy, causeless joy, like lightheartedness, playfulness. These are colors of this mystery that cannot really be expressed, but can be revealed to itself, by itself, in you. Yeah.
So you can taste the flavor of it.
Exactly. You can taste the flavor, but it cannot really be spoken. Yeah. But the direction is good enough, like a needle of a compass. It can never be completely the north. It cannot, but it points in the right direction. And this is the same with the mystical expression.
Yeah.
It's never true. It's close as words can speak. Yeah.
And why is it so hard to get rid of an illusion?
Usually it is wrapped in fear. But when we find the courage and see through a particular situation or painful place, and all of us have experienced that, when we are through it, we think, what was that all about? Huh?
Yeah.
Was it really so difficult? Was it really so fearful? No. And that should give us courage to see through the next tight knot. Yeah. When you're through it, you think,
no big deal.
No big deal. Move on.
Yeah. Some teachers say that the big deal is still keeping and investing in that illusion and keeping the illusion.
Yeah, that's what I call fear.
Yeah.
That's what I call fear.
And I'm afraid of losing my investment, or
you're afraid of disappearing.
Yeah.
To die.
Yeah. To dissolve. Yeah. And when I walk into a cinema, I love to dissolve.
Exactly. So here we are back to 20 minutes ago, where we were talking about this friction you want and you don't want. Yeah. So there needs to be a power that is stronger than your fear. Yeah. And that power can be your thirst, or your despair, or your longing, or somebody at your side supporting you. Yeah, encouraging you, empowering you, investing in you. Like I have had. Yeah, biggest gift in my life. Yeah.
Bigger than your children?
That is difficult to say, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of a worldly thing that people say that's the biggest gift.
Yeah. It's a different domain. Of course, I cannot really answer that. But you know what I mean.
Yeah. The word love. I don't know if we spoke about it earlier in this interview.
Not yet.
No.
Yeah.
that's let's say in the illusionary world, that's the biggest thing you can you can get, love and sex. That's like closest to the divine. But that love is a love that can come and go.
Oh yeah, your beloved can walk away any moment.
Yeah. That makes.
And you can get bored, or your beloved gets bored with you or me. Yeah. So it's fragile.
Yeah.
But what does it mean that we want this lover? What does it mean? You know, it's an echo of the love that you already are. And we invest in the echo. And we don't invest in this essential awakening journey.
Yeah.
So usually people are satisfied with the echo, with the shadow, you know, and not with the light. And sex, of course we love sex because there also we disappear. And there is the echo of this union.
Yeah.
The echo of this union. And we think this is it. And we want to have it again and again and again and again. And if we just go within, here it already is. It already is. This sacred union already is. The ultimate beloved is here.
Osho once called having an orgasm a poor man's realization.
Beautiful. Yeah, a poor man's realization. Yeah. And the sadness of it is that it needs to be repeated. It's never, it gives satisfaction, it gives for just a little bit, a little while.
And mostly afterwards, I don't know if people, you recognize it, you, after 10 minutes and half an hour, you feel empty again or lonely. Or
Right. So it only stills the loneliness for a very short while.
Yeah.
So, you know, when you know that from your own life experience, and you have heard what is possible, why not go for...
You always say go for the gold.
Go for the gold. Go for the gold. When I heard this, you know, for the first time, I thought, this is it. And I already knew that nothing in the world would fulfill me. I already knew that when I was 19. When I was at secondary school, 16, 17, I had 3 desires. I wanted to live in Amsterdam. I wanted to study medicine. And I wanted a boyfriend. And when I was 19, I was living in Amsterdam. I was studying, I was at medical school, and I had a boyfriend. And I looked and I thought, it's not enough. Yeah. So then I realized, now all my desires are fulfilled. I'm not happy. Not happy enough. It needs to be repeated again and again and again and again. So I knew already then that nothing in the world would ever fulfill me. And that was confirmed the moment I met a truly awakened soul. So it was very easy for me to not longer be seduced by something secondary.
Yeah, at a very young age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it took a while before I met him because there was nobody in Holland to testify, to express from an awakened place. If you can call it a place.
Yeah, that was Alexander Smith.
Right.
He's no longer among us.
No.
He passed away in '98. There are a lot of material online which we can listen to and watch. You told me that he said after 2 or 3 times he saw you that he says, well, you're going to speak about this the rest of your life, either if you want it or not.
Right.
How did it make that? How did it make you feel when he said that?
I said, I know that.
Oh, you knew?
Yeah. Yeah.
Not afraid that you think, oh my God, what's happening here?
No. I've known this all my life. Yeah. Fear is not so my thing. Yeah. I'm not going there. No, there's better, something better. And he showed me. He was the first one who showed me. So when I met him, wherever he was, I was.
Yeah.
I never skipped a satsang, never ever, flew or not. Yeah.
Did your mind not explain that as being in love with this guy?
No. The meeting was so was of another realm. Where I met him was of another realm. I never felt... I loved him like nobody else.
Mm-hmm.
And I was married. I loved my husband too, you know. And I loved my children. My children were very, very young then. But this was of another world, this love. So everything in a togetherness with an awakened being is of another world. And that was very clear to me from the first moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
Never.
No. When Alexander passed away, did you cry?
No. But I have always loved him like nobody else.
Mm-hmm.
And I was very, very close to him. And for 10 years or so. I miss him sometimes. And I have these sweet memories of him. He saved my life. Yeah, so grateful.
You don't think that this would have crossed your path if you didn't meet Alexander? Would you have become a medical student again and stayed married and...
Oh, much worse than that.
Yeah?
Yeah. I was really desperate. Because as I said, you know, I knew from so long that nothing would fulfill me. And that was very painful to acknowledge. Because there's nowhere to go.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing to strive for.
Yeah.
You know, even the story of Lord Buddha is so beautiful. He was a prince, expected to be a king. And he was married to the most beautiful girl. And he had a beautiful son. But the moment he saw, he was leaving his kingdom.
Yeah.
He was leaving his son, he was leaving his wife. And that shows that he had everything, but nothing was enough for him.
Yeah.
And I didn't have a kingdom, but nothing was enough for me.
Yeah.
Nothing. So that's extremely painful. Yeah.
Did your parents not react like most parents do? They say, well, come on, count your blessings.
Yeah, you're so dissatisfied.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't say that, but my friend said, you're so dissatisfied and you are spoiling your life. You had all these possibilities. You're just throwing it away and like that, yeah. But they had no inkling. Not really, no. She's doing something with this strange man and she's going to courses and yeah.
There's this song by the Irish group U2. I still haven't found what I'm looking for. When you're talking about this stuff and you hear music, so you often hear that cry for freedom or that cry.
Exactly. It's in everybody's heart.
Yeah.
More or less covered up.
Yeah. And some people go to cocaine or some people travel
Yeah.
all the world.
Yeah.
And
that's the thing now. Most people want new experiences. This is what is going on now. Most people want new experiences, so they come to a satsang here, then they go to Hawaii, and they go to ayahuasca, and then you know, new experiences, new experiences. That is now very fashionable.
And that's not.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, new experiences.
And this can't be found in an experience.
Ultimately not. Ultimately not. No, an experience is by definition framed in time and space.
Comes and goes.
Yeah, comes and goes. So this freedom is the realm of changelessness. Ultimate freedom, and has no point of reference. Yeah.
So stop saying to yourself that if I can cross off everything on my bucket list, then I will be satisfied. Postponing
and running away from the treasure that is hiding right here, right now.
Yeah. But is it then so intimate that we look over it? Is it so close by?
Yeah, exactly. It is too close, too immediate, too simple. Something like that. We always believe in problems. We always want to solve a problem We always want to do
Fix.
something. We want to fix.
Yeah.
We want to attain. We want our steps, and usually it takes a while before all of that is exhausted. That you see, nothing works. I've traveled the world. I've done my courses, my trainings, all of that. Nothing works. A lover doesn't even work. Chocolate doesn't even work. Nothing works.
Yeah. What now?
What now?
Yeah.
Be still. Relax. Yeah.
It sounds so simple.
It is simple.
And
It's
so
very, very simple.
So effortless.
Exactly. Yeah, it is it. It is like that.
It doesn't need a big investment like 10,000 euros or...
No, nothing. This is the road from nothing to nothing.
Yeah.
No money, no effort, no age, no education, nothing. It is already your home. You run away in search of yourself.
Yeah. Every day again and again. Yeah.
Every day again and again, until you're so fed up.
Yeah. And can maybe illness be of help?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, anything that is
Yeah.
falling apart, or maybe even success.
Yeah.
People run after success, and then they have success, and they say, "Well, now what?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It reminds me of another disciple of Alexander, Jan Voudrene, a Dutch psychiatrist,
Yeah.
who also said that if everything in the world you tried failed and didn't bring you that which you hoped for,
Yeah.
then things get interesting.
Yeah. Exactly. When people crash, now what?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you ready now? You apparently needed to crash. Okay, so be it.
Yeah.
Are you ready now? Yeah. Or are you going in the same
Yeah.
boat? So be aware, be awake, and see the mechanisms.
Yeah.
So I didn't waver. It was my nature not to waver.
Yeah.
It was my nature to quickly see and acknowledge the road to freedom. Yeah, and Alexander helped me with that.
Yeah.
And later Papaji and Shanti Mai too. Yeah.
And how come you didn't fall into the trap of making spirituality your new nature, your new fabricated home with see what I already have known or did or read or visited?
I don't know.
No.
I remember that when I was a child, sometimes you have this question, when you are big, what do you want to be?
Mm-hmm.
And there were two words. One was the word disciple. I didn't even know what it meant. But it was something, I didn't dare to speak it. It was so intimate, but it was hiding in me. The word disciple, and the other one was nobody. I thought, wow, that must be so free to be nobody, to be somebody. Oh, it looks to me quite a burden.
Yeah.
You have to build that every day again, to be somebody. Oh my God. But I thought, to be nobody, you can be everywhere.
Yeah.
So I already had this taste. And later I found out what it meant. And then later I found out, yeah, indeed it is like that.
Yeah. Mr. Nobody, Mr. and Mrs. Nobody.
Yeah, Mr. It's so free.
Yeah. You can be anything.
Yeah, you
anytime.
can, yeah.
Yeah.
So you can pop up everywhere.
Yeah.
You can hang out with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
It's so free.
But isn't it a burden for you now that people see you as a teacher or as the awakened one, or?
No, I don't feel burdened. No, not at all. And I don't see myself as anything. We play this beautiful situation of me expressing myself and people being thirsty for it. So this is our dance together.
Yeah.
And it is very precious and very beautiful. But I don't see myself as the guru. It's rather, I don't know. Yeah. I have no identity really. Yeah.
Last time we spoke in Dutch, I remember I asked you, what about a book?
What about a book?
Yeah. Now we're 2 years
It's
later.
ready.
It's ready.
It's ready.
Also in English?
No, in Dutch.
In Dutch.
So it's ready. In a couple of days it will go to the publisher. Yeah.
What's it called?
I can't say. It's still a secret.
Okay.
I will invite you when it is out.
Oh, there. Okay.
Yeah.
And people can order it through your website, I guess?
I will. I have contact with the publisher.
Okay.
So
it's still fresh.
It's very fresh.
Yeah.
It's still in my computer.
Oh.
But it's a matter of days.
Oh, great.
And then it will go to the publisher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe when you watch this in half a year, it's available all over the place.
It should be in the bookshops, but I don't know yet if the publisher really likes it.
Yeah.
So we have to see. Yeah.
And is it a collection of meetings, or is it your personal
It's a
story?
very traditional question and answer.
Yeah.
Yeah. But also some stories. Yeah.
Yeah. And can this be captured in a book?
Again, it's a flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like mystic poetry. Yeah. It can never be captured anywhere. Yeah.
Because it is everywhere.
Yeah, it is everywhere, and it cannot be. The mystery cannot be defined.
Yeah. And divided.
And it cannot be divided. No. So again, these are all pointers. Yeah. One of the books of Nisargadatta was called Pointers, and that's very accurate.
Yeah. The finger pointing to the moon.
Right.
People say.
Right. And people insist on looking at the finger.
And not to what it's pointing.
And not to what it is pointing at. Yeah.
So you are also a pointer.
Yes. Or I called myself last night an alarm clock.
Alarm clock.
Yeah. Like ring, 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 wake up.
Yeah.
Or like we had our little conversation, this image of a bridge, I'm a bridge, or a spiritual friend at your side,
In the movie The Matrix, they had the phone booth where you can pick up the phone and hear truth or... That was when people come to meetings with you, that's a whole other thing than reading a book, I guess, because I sit in front of you.
Yeah.
And maybe I tell my life story or I ask questions, and your response is not to the group as a whole, but...
It's very precise to a particular one.
Yeah.
So that it can be different for everyone.
Yeah.
Many of the people who come to satsang I know very well. So I may answer one on a very different level than another one, or even completely the opposite. I will answer to one as to another. Yeah.
Isn't that tiring for you? You have to remember all this stuff. Oh, that's him with
No, I don't remember anything.
No,
I don't remember. But when people ask something, then it is obvious to me. Yeah. So I can just show them a bigger perspective, so that they can see for themselves.
Yeah. So let's say I'm sitting in front of you at a meeting, and I say to you, what's this problem I have with eating, with my weight? I know that food is for me comfort, it is love, it is against boredom, it is lots of things.
So you already give the answer in the question.
Yeah. And I know it for myself. Yeah. I see myself doing it. I see myself eating this big bowl of spaghetti when half was enough.
Exactly, when half was filling up the hole in the heart, filling up.
Yeah. But not every evening. Sometimes everything is fulfilling, but sometimes I feel
it is
urge.
not.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
And we rather fill it up with eating or smoking or drinking or sex or football. Fill it up, then sit and experience it completely. And this is the ultimate invitation. Sit and experience without comment, without any conclusion. You just allow it. This feeling.
Should I skip my evening meal? When I feel hungry, should you just be hungry or be with the hunger, or is that too much of a...
You ask for strategies.
Yeah.
I think it is a profound decision. It comes down to a profound decision.
Yeah.
Like, I know there's something better.
Yeah.
Am I investing in that fully and totally? And then the need for filling up will just dissolve. It will fade away.
Yeah.
Most of the time. Alexander was coffee eating, you know, a lot.
Cakes.
Yeah. So there is not a rule written in stone. But most of the time it will relax. But there are many awakened people who indulge in sexuality, and many who has become meaningless to them.
Yeah.
So it can be anything. But usually it starts with a firm decision. I don't want this anymore. I know there's something better. I go for it. Yeah. That's a decision somehow. And that decision is a decision to live along the line of truth. And that truth is your boss. And that you're willing to listen and to receive and to act accordingly. You know, it's a willingness, a profound willingness, and a profound urge and love for the best life, you know, most shiny life.
Yeah. A colleague of yours, Giovanni, also a disciple of Shanti Mai, once said, "This is the quality of your being. Don't settle for less."
Yeah, yeah.
That's what you're pointing at also.
Exactly.
Quality of being.
Exactly. Yeah, and you know what is possible. And that is always fascinating to me, when people know what is possible and the next moment turn their back.
Yeah.
I'm fascinated by that.
Why do we settle for less?
Yeah. Again, fear. Fear is always the great big thing. And again, people don't want to be disturbed in their comfort. Don't disturb me. Yeah. So they live in this cocoon of belief systems and comfort. Yeah.
Do I maybe think I'm unworthy of?
Can be.
And I think, well, that's not.
Yeah, not for me.
No.
Can be. Yeah. But there is something in you that knows better.
Yeah.
And are you, again, willing to listen to this depth? What knows? This is only a protective statement. Yeah, an excuse.
Yeah. Could it be laziness? That I think, well, another lifetime. I'm content with this coffee.
Yeah, we can give lots of reasons. We can also say, well, it can be captured by the word maturity. By the word maturity.
Yeah.
Can be captured by that word.
And why? Maturity?
Yeah, maturity to have this unwavering willingness, or to hide in excuses.
Yeah. Yeah.
Spiritual maturity. Yeah, and many children nowadays are very mature. And many elderly people are very immature.
Very childish. Yeah.
Very childish, yeah.
Still want their needs fulfilled.
Yeah, exactly.
Right now.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, a good test is I'm hungry. I'm thinking, okay, I could go to this place and get. I have to wait for half an hour and then get a delicious meal, or I drive through McDonald's and get it in 5 minutes, and I eat it, and after 10 minutes. I feel terrible, and after 1 hour, I'm hungry again.
Yeah, and angry.
Angry at yourself.
Angry at yourself. I've done it again.
I did it again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you deal with the consequences of your actions and of your choices. We all do. I deal with the consequences and the actions of my choices. We all do.
Yeah.
And many people nowadays get fed up. I don't want to live on this frequency anymore. And to hang out with people who are negative, who are complaining, I don't want it anymore.
Yeah.
I want this shine in my life.
It takes courage.
It takes courage, and we all have it. Yeah.
But it's handy to have someone like you who tells you...
Empowers you.
Empowers you.
Yeah. Empowers you.
Gives you faith?
Confidence.
Confidence.
Trust.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's then again up to you whether you want it or not. You know, you can also sit at satsang like that. Who the hell do you think you are?
Yeah. How does she know?
Yeah. How does she know? Pfft, you can sit like that.
Yeah.
It's all up to you.
Yeah.
What do you want? What do you really, really, really want from life?
Yeah.
It tells you quickly. Yeah.
That's a good question to start.
It's an excellent question to start. What do you really want from life?
Yeah.
And the so-called guru doesn't want anything. The guru is already happy and fulfilled.
Yeah.
You know.
So
I don't need anything from anybody. I'm fine.
not on a mission to awaken everybody.
No.
No. And still you do.
And still I do.
Yeah.
But it is because of the... Well, first of all, my gurus push me. And now it is because the people long. It is by their longing that the words come.
Mm.
When the longing is... Yeah, like that. When the longing is not there, I zap.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's nothing moving in me. Nothing. Yeah.
So right now I'm pulling these words out of you.
Right. Yeah.
And slurping them.
Yeah, it's the longing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I reflect a little bit on this mission thing. Because there is a love somehow in action, you know, to show.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. And you demonstrated that again for the last hour. Thank you very much. Looking forward to your book, maybe in English in a couple.
It will come.
Yeah, it will come.
Yeah.
The website is prajnaparamita.nl.
Right.
There's also your agenda. People can come to France to visit you, and a couple of times a year here in...
many times.
Many
I'm
times,
here
yeah.
every 6 weeks, and I give lots of satsangs, and every time a satsang weekend also. That's very intense.
In Baren.
In Baren.
Yeah. And for people who come from other countries, in Baren you speak in English also.
Yeah.
Whole weekend or just...
The whole weekend.
Yeah.
English.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Dutch people find that limiting. Then we communicate in Dutch.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's fine.
Yeah. And every age.
Every age.
You say even children come to visit you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you told me a beautiful quote at the kitchen table. What do children say when they come to a meeting with you?
One child said, "Why does my heart feel so warm?" And I said, a 7-year-old girl, and I said, "Because the sun is shining in your heart." Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You're most welcome. Thank you.
Sitting here with André Roosendaal. We did a talk in Dutch about a half a year ago.
We did?
Yes. And about what subject did we talk?
Well, we talked about, I would say life. Yeah, life, I think.
Yeah.
That's what we talked about. And we talked about self-realization. Talked about nothing, you could say as well.
Yeah.
It's what you hear a lot in these with regard to this subject.
Yeah.
With life, I think, is suitable.
We also talked about your path, how it came about, what you found. You wrote a book, and it's called in Dutch Zelfrealisatie.
Yes.
What is self-realization for you?
Self-realization for me is knowing the truth of who you really are, which means the existence you are in life itself. And it's hard to explain.
Mm-hmm. Why is it hard to explain?
Because there is no real explanation for it in words.
Mm-hmm.
In the first place, it's an experience. It's your being, and in that part, it's hard for your mind to tell exactly what it is.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, that's also why people say you can't talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, it's very real. It's very alive. It's the most alive thing there is. It's your existence. So, in that part, it has no words, and you can talk about it for hours. You could say. Yeah.
Could you say it's about life itself?
It's life itself. definitely, and also you could say what it's not.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's even easier to talk about it. What it's not. It's not something.
Yeah.
It's not like anything you can point at.
Yeah.
It's not you as a person. It's not you as your thoughts. It's not you as your feelings. It's not you. Well, and you can go on like that.
It cannot be defined.
It cannot be defined. And at the same time, it's the most definable thing there is, because it's you.
Mm-hmm.
It's your life. It's life itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there are many books written about this subject.
Yeah.
There are lots of people who go to satsangs, watch these kind of interviews.
Yeah.
How come that so many people are interested in hearing about this?
Well, of course, you should ask all these people, because maybe their personal reasons are variable.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I think it's a deep longing for people to do something more than their personal life. Most of the people who search for these kind of things, they think like, okay, I'm unhappy with the life I'm leading. I'm not happy with the circumstances I'm in, or just asking questions about the reality of life itself. And they start a quest, whether it's because they are unhappy or they are very happy in their life, in their circumstances, but still missing this final thing. I mean, you can have everything and still there can be something missing.
Yeah.
And at a point in life, people start to search for truth, for meaning, for something that is real. And that's where the quest, I think, for a lot of people start.
Yeah. And was that for you also?
For me, that was definitely so, yeah.
Because you had it all.
What do you mean?
Yeah, the good job, the nice woman, the car, the income.
Yeah.
And still something missing.
And still something missing, yeah. I mean, for me, it started at a very young age. At a year of 4 or 5 years old, I really thought like, okay, what is here? What is all about? What is happening? And then, of course, you go to school, you do a lot of things, you start studies, and you get a job, etc., etc. And still, there's a deep unhappiness, you could say, about being here, but especially about the way we live with each other, and the fact that I had the feeling there's no connection between people. We're all divided, and we live our lives, and we are separate in our feelings and in our thoughts. And well, I was searching for the meaning of life and all these things.
And did you find the meaning of life, André?
Well, did I find it? No, it found me, you could say, I think. So it's both. I mean, at the one hand, you're searching and you're looking, and at the other hand, it finds you. And it finds you for me, at a very unexpected moment, you could say. At the moment, I really felt like, okay, I'm giving up life. I don't know anymore. And what should I do? And in fact, you could say at that time, you're completely available. You're available for anything without knowing what you want. Mm-hmm. Your own will, you could say, is just subsided. And at that time, life, I could say, or God, or whatever name you would like to call it, found me, not from outside but from inside. Mm-hmm. And inside means also outside, by the way, because there's no difference at that moment. Yeah.
And was there no ego at that time that said, no, this is all bullshit, listen to me? Or how?
In the experience itself, not. In the experience itself, it is so real that there's no question about it. Whether, or at least for me, there was no question about it for me as a person. Mm-hmm. André said, "Okay, hey, this is it. Hey, and now I've seen it. I found it. Yeah, this is what I was searching for. I just felt connected with everything, inside, outside, and so." But of course, then you return to your daily life, and then you just meet the people again who know you. You go to your job, you go start doing the things you always did. Yeah. And and then you have to make, or you don't have to anything, but you make decisions. Yeah. And that might be other decisions than that people would advise you to do. Yeah. For example, quitting your job or starting a new career or whatever. Yeah. But that's just all in your personal life in the end. Yeah. So if you just take a look at the experience itself, there was no questioning anymore. The only hard part is that it's very hard to give words to it and to find words for it. Okay, how do I explain to other people what I've found or what I've experienced and realized? Yeah. And what you realize is that there is no real I. There's just unity. There's connection, and
no separation.
No separation.
No.
And at that time, it just was an amazing float of love, you could say.
Yeah.
And if you experience it once, it's something that doesn't really subside anymore. It is there, and it's there all the time.
Yeah.
And of course it can vary. I mean, in your daily life it varies. It's never that you do not have emotions or that you can't be irritated anymore or anything else. But at the same time, you know that there's no difference between the person you think you are and everything outside of you.
Yeah.
There's just only connection.
And how did your family, friends and loved ones react? Did they taste any difference in André? Did he become a more loving person or more loving being? Or
I think so. I mean, you should ask them, I think, in the first place. But definitely in the way that the unhappiness that was there before disappeared. And there was liveliness and there was eagerness to live this life with this knowledge and with this experience.
Yeah.
I mean, knowledge is maybe not the right word for it, but the experience is inside of you.
Yeah.
And you take it with you in your daily actions, and that makes a great difference, of course. Yeah.
And is there? Well, I'm just curious. What changes after self-realization? They talk about before self-realization, chop wood, carry water.
Yeah.
After self-realization, chop wood, carry water.
Yeah.
So in the outer world, no big changes. No. Selling the house, selling the car, just owning a bike and traveling all over the world with a bike or something.
Yeah. That can. But for a lot of people, in fact, these big changes do not happen.
No.
I think in the last 14, 16 years, I think a lot of things changed, but not in a way that I withdraw myself and I found myself on a mountain or something meditating all day. No, definitely not. What changes is the way you look at things. So
how you perceive the world.
How you perceive the world. Your perception is really changed.
Yeah.